Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Insyirah Binti Taufik, and today I'm going to talk about Aphasia and Broca's area and Wernicke's area. So, as we know, language is one of most remarkable abilities for human brain. So, human brain has its own area where our brain actually process language and how we speak and how we comprehend and understand the language itself. So it allows us to communicate ideas, express emotion, and connect with others. So, however, speaking and understanding language is not a simple process. They require a complex coordination with specific regions in the brain. So let's talk about it. So today I will introduce the two most important brain regions, which is Broca's area and Wernicke's area. So I will also explain how damage to these areas can cause a language disorder, and also it is known as aphasia, which affects a person's ability to communicate effectively if it is damaged or it has some complication. So first, let's look at the Broca's area. So Broca's area is located at the frontal lobe of the brain. So it is usually in the left hemisphere if we are right dominant, but it is located at supposedly located at the right brain if we are the left dominant. This region plays a crucial role in speech production. It also helps us to organize words into meaningful sentences and coordinates the movement of muscle used for speaking. So phonologically, we use our Broca's area. So when Broca's area is damaged, what happened? Can you guess? Okay, so a person may develop a Broca's aphasia, also as known as expressive aphasia. So what is Broca's aphasia? And how do we differentiate Wernicke's and Broca's? So basically, Broca's area is for our own like communication. Like I am talking to you, and apparently I don't have aphasia because I can talk to you fluently, well, and I can also understand what I hear. So what is the difference between what I say and what I hear? So the difference is the different brain area that we use. So Broca's area, I am actually talking to you and communicating with you, and I am using Broca's area. And if you are talking to me and I'm listening to you and I'm trying to understand and comprehend what you're saying, so that means I am using my Wernicke's area. So for example, of saying I will walk the dog in the park. So people with Broca's aphasia might say something else, or maybe they cannot communicate perfectly. Maybe they would talk like a child or a toddler. Maybe they cannot even produce a simple sentence, or maybe they can, but we cannot really understand what they say because they are like I would say they cannot really produce a sentence perfectly and fluently. So next we are going to talk about Wernicke's area. Well, I have said and told you about Wernicke's area, but let's go deep into it. So what is Wernicke's area? So Wernicke's area is actually the part of the brain that is located on the temporal lobe, and also usually in the left side of our brain, usually for people who are right dominant, because our brain and our body works as an X. Like if you are right dominant, you are using your left brain, and if you are left dominant, you are using your right brain. So so damage to the Wernicke's area leads to Wernicke's aphasia. In this condition, people can speak fluently and their speech may even sound correct, grammatically correct. Their sentences are perfect. But how does it affect us? The people who has the Wernicke's aphasia. It affects their understanding. They cannot comprehend and understand what people are telling them and what are people trying to tell them. They can communicate verbally perfectly, but they cannot receive information as normal people can. So maybe someone said the dog did something, so maybe it sounds fluent but does not logical sense. Do you understand it? Like, for example, someone might say like the dog tablet the window softly. Okay, that is okay. I maybe can understand the sentence you are saying, but I cannot understand what are you trying to say. What did the dog actually do? Because it does not make a logical sense. So other than that, individuals with Wernicke's aphasia are often unaware of their speech is confusing to others. Maybe they feel like they are actually communicating perfectly, but actually the context doesn't get into the other person. Like the person cannot really understand it. So that is how aphasia, Broca's and Wernicke's aphasia, how do we differentiate it, and how does it actually affect people who might have it. So in conclusion, Broca's area and Wernicke's area play a complementary roles in language processing, and Broca's area are help us to produce speech, while Wernicke's allows us to understand language. So these regions work together through accurate fasciculus to support smooth and meaningful communication. So if one of them are damaged, a person cannot really communicate effectively and efficiently. So it might, like if you have a broadcast, you cannot really talk properly, and if you have Wernicke's aphasia, you cannot really understand properly. So it will disrupt the communication. I think it should be sufficient information for you to actually understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to deliver. So I think that is all. Thank you so much for listening.